So I'd like to start by bringing up an issue that I've faced in the past when it comes to trying to play with other people in Wuthering Waves specifically. And then I think this kind of problem kind of stems out to other gacha games as well, mainly open world, because that's kind of like the top of the line games that we have in the market right now. So if you've ever been in these massive Discord servers, you would see like friend ID, share your user ID to other people so you can add other people, other players to your friends list, and maybe like get like a few sentences out of them, play like 1 or 2 times, and that's it, right? At least that's the experience that I have. I've tried to make friends on the Wuthering Waves Discord server several times already over the course of playing. The people that I did end up having a couple of discussions with, and I guess there's 1 or 2 that I talk to every now and then, I never actually ended up playing together with them within the game at all. I've known 2 specifically, the ones that I talk to on occasion, that I've known for over a year of playing Wuthering Waves, and I have not played a single session of co-op with them at all. I never really thought about it until now. It's not like it was in the back of my mind like, oh, maybe I should ask to play co-op with them. It's kind of sad, really. Well, it's like an issue because I feel like there's other people who want to play these kind of open world games with other people to, you know, explore around, defeat enemies, do like some grinding maybe. One of the biggest issues with co-op mode in Wuthering Waves specifically is you join one person's world and you're locked to that person's exploration progress. And with you as the recipient, you cannot interact with anything in their world. Only they can like go out and actually interact with like the Sonan's caskets, chests, and you're also, I guess, depending on how many people are in the world, you're locked to potentially 1 character, which is not really ideal in my opinion. The main issue with Wuthering Waves for co-op specifically is there's no real incentive to go out and explore. People nowadays are only really doing co-op as a means to do more echo farming because there's a daily limit to how many echoes are spawned within your own local world. And once that daily limit's reached, when your world is completely empty of enemies to potentially get echo spawns from, if people have time, they would go into co-op worlds to go into another person's instance and use their world as an echo grinding source instead. They would keep doing that and all and stuff, but it's, for most casual people, they're not going to do that at all, because not only are they really just do 5-10 minutes of dailies and then they log off for the most part, but also because you don't really get a lot of resources for tuners and Echo XP in particular, especially if you don't know how to properly conserve your resources. And even then you're locked behind RNG to get proper optimal Echo pieces for your characters, which is honestly the main reason why I've quit the game now. So I've had multiple attempts where I've tried to contact people to see if they would play co-op with me every now and then. Unfortunately, in the grand scheme of things, every single attempt that I've made is a failure, because as far as it goes, we just exchange a few messages like, oh, here's my UID, I see that we're playing in the same server, would you like to add me so that we can play? And they're like, sometimes like, yeah, sure. And then we don't even do co-op at all. That's pretty much just as far as it goes. There's only been 1 exception, and that's because I already knew a friend in the past. They just happened to pick up the game while I was still playing it, and we only did co-op once. But yeah, from the casual perspective, there's no real reason to do co-op at all, outside of if Kuro did a limited time event pertaining to co-op, which is cool, but they haven't released an event like that since 2.2. They haven't done a co-op event since then, which has been almost a year now. And other gacha games for open world are in a similar case, at least, but I don't really know much info on that. I just know Zenless Zone Zero only recently did like actual like true co-op in a form of unlimited event. And I heard Genshin Impact only really does it through minigame events, which is pretty ass, I'm not gonna lie. Nobody really wants to do something like that. I come from a completely different game or platform entirely where creativity is one of, if not the biggest things about the platform. Recently, that platform over the years has severely dropped in quality, and devs don't really care about their main focus of what the platform was originally built on in the first place. Now they're just kind of doing it for the money now, which has been more apparent now than it has ever been. And to that end, they've sacrificed, well, not really sacrificed, they just straight up removed a lot of stuff pertaining to socializing with other people, or at least like heavily limiting it due to safety concerns. It has really severely impacted the experience on the platform for a lot of people, because a part of that experience was just interacting with random people you'd never met before. You could talk to random people in voice chat and just have a good time in just random games. And I've seen clips all the time where people are just doing funny stuff in random voice chat games, and it was really entertaining. Nowadays, you can't even talk to people unless you're in a certain age group. From like a safety standpoint, I guess it makes sense, but it just really does ruin the experience for a lot of players, myself included. I've built my own community within that platform that I actually really do miss, where I used to do weekly game nights with my community for a while. We just played random games, had a good time. Maybe I can do like a video or two every now and then, do some clips here and there. It was overall something I really do miss, and I feel like for this channel in particular, it probably ultimately won't be like the main focus of a channel, because this is like it really is difficult to tackle. I would have to be something similar to like some of those funny moments channels were, but instead of having a specific friend group, I would just have random people with their consent just kind of mash up funny moments together. And even then, there's really not a lot of games to take advantage of something like that in the modern market. So I was thinking, when I was looking through this topic in particular, I really do think I haven't done much research on them, but there is one game that does have a lot of social aspects to it. One gacha game, and that's Neverness to Everness. The combat really isn't anything special. The environment is really cool with its urban setting, and then there's a lot of social stuff like, hold on, I have a list. Like there's a criminal infamy system that you can do when you can actually get captured by cops and shit. You could play some mini games with other people like, how is this pronounced? Mahon? I don't know, it's like a tile game or something. There's arcade machines, you can race with cars, you can do bank robbing, a psychological horror thing in a hospital. You could do cargo deliveries, you could do fishing. There's like a whole property management system. There's quite a bit, but I want to build a community similar to what I had previously, where we don't have to be by ourselves to experience like a gacha game, because a lot of it is a single player experience, which some people actually prefer it that way, and I think that's completely valid. But for what I feel like I've been missing a lot of my time recently is just the interaction between other people. I can't really exactly just go outside and do that. I've never done a good job of doing that. So I feel like the next best thing is to try and gather up people with similar interests, make a small community out of it, and just, vibe and talk about the games that we enjoy, It's going to be hard to play the same games. There's people who play certain gacha games. Not everybody plays every gacha. That's like not realistic, and some people just play it for the dailies, which at that point I personally think it's not really you're not really playing the game for the game. You're just playing it as kind of like a chore because of how predatory all these gachas are. Let's be realistic. I'm going into Neverness into Everness as a free-to-play player, not only as like a more casual way of going about it, but also have a more in-depth understanding of how the game mechanics work and how to actually like play the game without being brain dead. I do have a Discord server that's already in the works, so I'll probably have an invite posted in the description and pinned comment. Yeah, all it really needs is like a moderation bot or two, and I need to assign role permissions and stuff, and that's basically it for the foundation. I can add some more later on, but in the grand scheme of things, I'll probably only be covering 2 gacha games, mainly NTE, until Azure Permilia comes out globally. And if not, I'll try and find a way to play that game no matter what. So yeah, I'll try and build a community, a gacha community where we can have fun through multiplayer and stuff. I was thinking probably streaming would be one of the main things I would do. I would just probably do my dailies for like 5-10 minutes for a couple of gachas, and then I'll probably decide like, hey, if anybody wants to join me through my co-op world or we can do something, feel free to join me. Like I would actually have like my UID public and stuff so that people can join. And I feel like NTE would be the best fit for something like that, because, you know, of all the social aspects that it has, and combat not really being its main focus, even though it is a core system of the game. So I'll try and see what I can make do with it. It's just one of the bigger problems for me personally is the fact that I haven't done anything related to content creation in over a year, so it's probably going to take me a long time to get back into the groove of stuff. I'll see what I can manage. I'll probably just be posting random stuff here and there pertaining to NT and maybe Azure Permilia if I can get some info on it. So the goal of what I want to build with this channel is I may be posting like some typical guides, gameplay, I don't know, God knows what else, but I think the inner like core of what I want to build is just a smaller community who wants to interact with other people who have similar interests within gacha games that want to play with each other, because I know for a fact there's going to be other people who are in the similar situation to me, where they've tried to they post their friend UID in a text channel in an official gacha Discord server, and they get a couple of responses, they get their friend requests in, they maybe do 1 or 2 sessions of co-op, and then it doesn't go any farther than that. And I really think that defeats the whole purpose of having a channel like that in the first place. And some games don't really have, like Arknight's Enfield, for example, you don't really have any sort of co-op for that matter. You just have support units. I'll probably think of the original Arknights for that matter, but co-op is pretty underutilized in the modern gacha market. So I want to try and shed light into that by like silently, not really promoting it, but kind of like highlighting it in the content that I do, so other people can be involved and maybe get into my content as well, because I feel like that's going to be something that's pretty important to build for sure. A sense of, I feel like family might be too much, but something like that, where we all can kind of just hop on and play our favorite gachas and stuff, and maybe talk about some things. But anyway, I appreciate you listening to me. I'll probably have something actually more solidified later down the road. NTE is releasing in like 2 weeks, at least globally. CN is going to be like a week early. So yeah, looking forward to that. And I'll see if I can find some people that are of similar interests to me. Not through like different Discord servers, but maybe through NTE, maybe, I don't know, maybe I might not actually do that, but whatever. I'll see how far I can go. If it doesn't work, then it is what it is. But I want to try something different. But yeah, if you're interested in community where it's really just a social space for gacha gamers to hang out, play their favorite games with each other, and maybe hang out with me and be in a video, mayhaps, so we can do some funny shit. The Discord link will be in the description and pinned comment when it's ready, and probably barely functional. But otherwise, thank you for your time. Appreciate you coming along, and do have a good rest of your day.